What up, everybody? How you guys doing today? Finally got around to beating Deadpool on the PS3 last night. This game has a weird history. I remember when this came out, it was on the PS3, it was on the 360. Look at that cover art. So good. A lot of detail on the back, by the way. But yeah, when this came out on the PS3 and the 360, it was pretty much a guaranteed hit. Apparently, according to the numbers on the internet, it did flop a bit. High Moon Studios made this. I forget what also. They made a couple of other games I had played, but it's not coming to me right now. I think they're a decent studio. They're not too big. They're not like Activision. They're kind of like in the middle. So when they came out with this game, I remember playing it. I didn't buy it, but I played it at a friend's house. Thought it was a lot of fun. This is one of my first introductions to Deadpool, and I kind of forgot about it over the years. And then I went to go buy it. Turned out it got taken off the PS3 store. All digital game stores, it's taken down. So if you can get the physical copy, which thankfully I got my hands on, it's not cheap. I paid probably $50, I think, for this a couple months back, and just never got a chance to play it. But I finally beat it, and I just wanted to give you guys my thoughts. Um, I can see why people are charging so much. I mean, it got delisted. The physical copy is hard to find, but the game is fun. It is a fun game, but it kind of feels like Futurama. The game is so hard to find. It's so expensive, but goddamn, is it janky and hard to play. The combat in this is kind of janky, but it's really fun to play. The combo meters are really fun. It kind of has that God of War hack and slash style to it that makes it fun, but it definitely is a bit ruggy around the edges. Some of the controls, I feel like they could have did better with the layout, especially when it came to changing your weapons and all that. But it is what it is. I had a good time with the game. It doesn't have a big overarching story. It's more of a comedy at this point. There's not a I mean, there is a villain that you're focusing on. It's Mr. Sinister, but he doesn't really show up until the end. And even then, you don't really get to fight him. You get to fight his minions, which I thought was a bit overwhelming because of the amount of enemies that came. And then when Mr. Sinister comes at the end, they kind of just played off like a joke, and you don't even get to fight him. I was kind of disappointed. But he's the main villain in this game. And then it starts off like, like a tutorial, and then as the game goes on, you meet up with Cable, you meet up with the Lady Death, and the X-Men, Wolverine, Cable. They don't have all the X-Men here, but there's a couple of them. The dynamic between Wolverine and Deadpool is really good. I just found it kind of weird that there was so much build up for this Mr. Sinister boss fight, fighting all of his goons, and then you don't even get to fight him. This game has a shit ton of upgrades that if you want to get the platinum on the PS3, be my guest, but I'm not putting myself through that kind of hell. The trophies in this game are really hard to get. I played this game on normal, still had a really hard time just because of how many enemies there are. Some of the boss fights are really fun, but they're really hard, but super rewarding and satisfying after you beat it. The game definitely takes like a comic booky approach. A lot of comic panels everywhere. Deadpool obviously breaking the fourth wall like he always does. That's why we love him so much. The jokes in here, the commentary, the voice acting from Deadpool, everything about Deadpool is just A plus, spot on. The lines in this game are you're not going to hear it in the Ryan Reynolds movies. I think it was Nolan North that did the voice for Deadpool in this game. Absolutely knocked it out of the park. If it was Ryan Reynolds, that would be cool too. But it is nice having a different voice actor. I really, really liked what he did here. Obviously, this game isn't. It's not like Spider-Man on the PS5. It's not an emotional game. This is really just a game that if you want to pick up and have an arcadey, good fun time, just slicing and dicing people, Deadpool is the game to do that. Don't go in this looking for a big story. Just, come in, kill some motherfuckers, and leave. And that's what this game is at the end of the day. Kind of like the movies, they kind of share similarity. There's not too much of a story going on, but it's still fun to play and watch. The graphics, for the most part, are really good. Like I said, the dialogue too from all the characters in here I really liked. No one really overstays their welcome. The levels range from pretty good to pretty bad. Just like the setting that you're in, none of it is interesting. A lot of it is just broken down buildings. I think the first half of the game was a lot more colorful and charming compared to the second half of the game. It gets a lot more dark. You do end up getting a different variety of enemies, variety of weapons, combos, upgrades. There's so many upgrades. It's overwhelming for me. I was trying to get the platinum, and that's one of the trophies I could not do. You have to find every single coin in this game to get all these upgrades, and there's 10 upgrades for like every weapon, and there's a lot of melee weapons, shotguns, handguns, and knives, sledgehammers, grenades, bear traps, mines. Like, there's so much. All of those have like 10 to 15 upgrades for each thing. So I thought that was a bit excessive, but it also does give the game replayability, and it makes your weapon stronger. I don't know if it's going to save. It's like a new game plus kind of thing, and then once you do a different difficulty and restart over, maybe you'll keep your upgrades. I don't think that's how it's going to work, but all in all, it was a fun game. I'd give it like a 7 out of 10. I would play it again just to have a good time with my boys if we got nothing else going on. And you can play online. You can connect to the PlayStation Network. And I think, it's just for leaderboards and trophies and that kind of thing. So overall, like, I wouldn't rush out and buy this. If you're looking for it for your collection of superhero games, go buy it. But if you're looking for something with a good story, I wouldn't recommend this. But if you're looking for something that's just stupid and fun to play and sit down and kill a couple hours, you'll definitely get your money's worth. Especially if you want to go for the platinum, you will be playing this game for a while. And there is some combat challenges that are very hard to do after you beat the story. So there's a nice little side mode. Overall, fun game. Just wanted to do a review for you guys. And that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.